Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, May 16th, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Weird weekend weather and some really eerie fog out, that's for sure. You want to take a look at some of the photos posted all over social media on all those tall ships and the fog. Pretty amazing. And actually, there's a really creepy one on the carnival, which is happening at the mall, posted on the Annapolis subreddit. Really very eerie. All right, it is Monday, and we have some news. So let's get into it, shall we? This is very concerning. At 4:45 a.m. on Friday morning, the Anne Arundel County Police responded to the McDonald's in Crofton, and a car had pulled up to the drive-thru at McDonald's on Route 3 in Crofton and opened fire on the employee working in the drive-thru window, killing him. Police have said it was targeted, and there is no ongoing danger to the community. The employee was identified as Betrain Gray, 23, of Odenton. And while I have to believe there has to be a lot of video footage of that, police are asking for help. So if anybody has any information, 410-222-4700 is the anonymous tip line. Okay, we now have a year to get serious. The REALID is a program the feds launched in 2001 to essentially verify everyone in the United States by driver's license. The states require you to present a birth certificate or social security card to the MVA, and when you get a special code put on your license or ID that will allow you admission to federal property and, most importantly, to fly on airlines. The original deadline was October 1st of 2020, and, well, COVID happened. The deadline is now May 3rd of 2023. So if you have not, make sure that you do. And here in Anne Arundel County, we have about 87% of the licensed or identified people verified, so we're in relatively good shape. And speaking of the MVA, when COVID emerged, they modified the skills portion of the driving test and kept permit holders on a closed course while the MVA employees watched from the sidelines. They also eliminated parts of it, notably the part where they take you out onto a real road and drive among real traffic. Well, June 6th, they are coming back to the old ways. They're going to get back in your car, and they are going to take you out on the road for a road test. So you just want to be aware of that, and if you prefer the abbreviated test and have completed all the other requirements, you probably want to make that appointment now. AMFM, the Annapolis Musicians Fund for Musicians, has awarded $6,000 to be split between Rob Levitt's Creating Communities and the Annapolis Symphony Academy's summer program. This is part of the David Glazer Educational Grant and is going to organizations that have a summer program geared toward underserved youth. So way to go to AMFM, and congrats to both Annapolis Symphony Academy and Creating Communities. We warned you a few weeks ago that the Paca Girlfriends tickets would sell out, and boom, they did. The general admission ones are now gone, but they still have some VIP levels available. Ladies, this is the party of the year on the beautiful grounds of the William Paca House and Gardens, and it does benefit historic Annapolis. So if you would like tickets, you want to get them at pacagirlfriends.com. And again, the general admission are sold out. They do have some VIP levels that are still available. Just a quick update on some restaurant news. As we told you on Friday, Annapolis Seafood is closing. Yesterday was supposed to be their final day, but there is a note on the door that says they will be open today at 9 a.m., and I guess that's just to sell any last-minute stuff. 40 years. In other news, California Tortilla is out at the festival at Riva. That is fact. Rumor has it, and this is unconfirmed, that Chris's Charcoal Pit is discussing a lease for that spot. Now, Chris's was destroyed during the tornado back in September. I'm also hearing that there is a new breakfast and lunch place that's going to be coming into the spot where Chewy's was. So I want to keep my eye out on the festival at Riva for some new dining options. I do hope you caught the local business spotlight with Mark and Shannon from Bean Rush Cafe, and you want to stay tuned next week when we speak with Sailor's Pet Care. And with June and Pride Month coming up, we did sit down with Jeremy Browning late last week from Annapolis Pride to talk about the organization, their stellar growth, the parade, and the fest, and much more, actually. That bonus pod might drop at noon today, depends on how motivated I am. Otherwise, it's probably tomorrow at noon. but you want to make sure you look out for that one. All right, that's it for the news, but first a quick thank you to our sponsors for today's Daily News Brief, Solar Energy Services, Alpha Engineering, and the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company. All righty, Ann Alsina from Covington Alsina is here with your Monday Money Report, and of course, George Young from DC MDVA Weather is here with your locally forecast and bumpy weather report. All of that coming up in just a bit.
The benefits of a good night's sleep are well documented. Sleeping well prevents weight gain, improves concentration and creativity, and boosts the immune system. So, what keeps you up at night? If you run a business, then the security of your computer network may be one of those things. Threats like ransomware and phishing are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pose a real risk to any business. Don't let these cyber threats keep you up at night. At Alpha, they've been helping their customers sleep better for over 30 years by monitoring in real time and hardening network defenses. And for those irritating IT issues that arise every day, Alpha's just a phone call away, helping your business run smoothly and helping you sleep better knowing Alpha is on guard. Give Alpha a call to see if they can ease your worries and help you get the rest you deserve. Find them at alphagetsit.com.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DC MDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DC MDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DC MDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, May 16th. Not a bad weekend on the whole for the Annapolis region, despite a bit more rain. But today is the day we'll need to watch closely for potential PM severe storms before sunshine returns tomorrow and lasts throughout much of the week and the weekend ahead. Look for highs today in the 80s for much, if not all, of Anne Arundel County on breezy southerly winds, but the warmth and humidity, combined with an upper air disturbance moving through from the west, will put all of the needed conditions together for severe weather this afternoon and this evening, bringing a legitimate risk for heavy rainfall that could lead to flash flooding, damaging straight-line winds in storms possibly in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour, a chance for sizable hail greater than 1 inch in diameter, and possibly even a few tornadoes across the mid-Atlantic region before the whole system then moves off to the east-northeast, with sunshine expected to return tomorrow with breezy winds and warm temps in the upper 70s to lower 80s ahead of more sunshine and temps in the mid to upper 70s Wednesday, with then a small chance of showers in the early morning hours of Thursday with temps again in the mid-70s or so with mixed skies above the region before sunshine returns Friday through Sunday with our first real summertime heat of the season expected with highs 85 to 90 on Friday and then 87 to 93 degrees on Saturday with temps likely then in the 80s across the region on Sunday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DC MDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, especially today, as severe weather potentially breaks out across the region this afternoon and evening. And as always, use our website as well at dcmdvaweather.info for updates, along with having our DC MDVA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
One of the most common questions we get, how do I maximize the value of my home before I sell it? It's a great question. We look at improvements like investments. What is the rate of return? For example, if we invest $5,000 in painting kitchen cabinets and installing granite, how much more will our home sell for? The answer? About $25,000 more. That's a 500% return on investment. Because of returns like this, we have started a program called Investing in You. We know cash is often tight when you're making a move, and we are here to help. We will front you up to $15,000 to invest in refreshing your home before you list it, with the agreement to be paid back once your home settles. Call us today so we can help you maximize your home's value.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-599-1370 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from Covington Alsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of Covington Alsina with your Monday Money Report. The S&P 500 came close to a bear market last week, with Thursday's close bringing the market down just over 19%. A bull's horns go up while a bear puts its head down to charge. So a bear market is a 20% or greater drop in an index. Stocks rallied on Friday, but not enough for a positive weekly return. We could be looking at further drops in the weeks ahead, and possibly even a recession in the next 12 to 18 months. A recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth in the economy, an economic contraction. As stocks are a leading indicator, meaning we see them move ahead of the economy, this downward market, coupled with the yield curve inversion we saw a few weeks ago, may be signaling more difficult economic times. None of this is fun. Looking at your accounts right now gives you that slightly nauseous feeling in the pit of your stomach. But if you are still working and you don't lose your job, which seems unlikely given the number of job openings right now, this downturn is a wonderful opportunity. You can buy more shares with each contribution to your retirement accounts. You can harvest losses and reposition your portfolio in taxable accounts with less tax consequences. The S&P 500 is still higher than it was 2 years ago, and I'm willing to bet that in 2 or 3 years, it will be higher than it is today. On average, 1 out of every 3 years is a negative year. As painful as it is, the drop is a normal occurrence. Something that's not normal, at least in Maryland, is a tax cut. And yet the legislature did just that for retirees. If you are 65 or older, retired, and make less than $100,000 a year, or married and making less than $150,000 a year, Maryland will give you a tax credit of $1,000 for singles and $1,750 for married couples. If you're at the higher end of that income number, this will not fully eliminate your state tax, but it will provide significant state tax relief for many retirees. Your action item for the week is to go into your phone and check all of your subscriptions. If you're as old as I am, you can have a teenager show you how. Unused or unwanted subscriptions can add up. Cancel anything you're not using or don't find useful. There's more information on our Facebook page and our website at covingtonalsina.com. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. All performance references historical. There's no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in the show are for general information only and are not to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you. Contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with Covington Alsina.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Let's make 2022 the year that you freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.